Hey guys, Coach Micheal Burt, the Super Coach, coming to you live from the Greatness Factory. Do you and will you create a freakishly persistent mindset to go get the prize that awaits you? Do you know what the prize is? How hard will you work toward? Will you keep pushing? Will you fight through the adversity? Will you keep pushing for ultimately so you can have the big prize? That's what we're going to talk about today, and the free prize awaits me. You're watching Super Coach, and I'm Coach Micheal Burt. Hey guys, this is Coach Micheal Burt. I am so glad you joined me for Super Coach. I believe a good coach can change your life. I believe a good coach will have conversations with you don't want to have, make you do some things you don't want to do, help you become something you didn't think you could become. You see, you can't see the picture when you're inside the frame. You can't reach your own potential without the help of another person helping you break through those ceilings of success. I'm Coach Micheal Burt, and I'm going to find the kryptonite in your life, and I'm going to do it on this show, Super Coach. Hey guys, Coach Micheal Burt, the Super Coach, coming to you from the Greatness Factory here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. When you're going to come step into your greatness, you can download this on podcast at Super Coach, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Podcast Republic. And today, we have a great show for you, and the free prize now awaits me. I want to say shout out to everybody that's out there. Leslie Dennis, Shane Ray, Scott Abernathy, Jason Fraker, Brittany Huff, Charleston, South Carolina, Aaron Solomon, Dale Childress, Richard Neese. You guys are going to enjoy the show today, and I draw a lot of inspiration, as you know, from the Bible. Typically every morning I'm in the Word, typically every night before I go to bed, and this show is based on a theme straight out of Timothy, is that there's a prize in the future, and here's what the verse says. It's 2 Timothy verse 4, chapter 4, verse 7, and it says this: "For I am already being poured out like a drink offering, and the time of my departure is at hand. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race." Right? "I have kept the faith. From now on, the crown of righteousness is laid up for me, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day." Now, when I read that, here's what I started thinking about, guys. I started thinking about all the times in life that there's something out in the future. There's something out there you want to manifest. There's something out there you want to create. We call it a dominant focus, a dominant aspiration. It is a single tangible outcome you would like to drive. In a 12-month cycle, it's measured in 30-day windows. And when you accomplish that, when you run the race, when you keep the faith, when you show up every day, when you are freakishly persistent, or as Mike Hardwick of Churchill says, persistently consistent, ultimately you get the prize, man. But we live in a world of microwave thinking versus crockpot thinking. We live in a world where we want it right now. So what will we not do? We won't embrace the suck that comes along with the work. We won't push through the adversity. We won't use adversity to accelerate progress. It got me thinking about how people go for money over mentors. You know, when you start thinking about mastering something, there is a period of observing a master doing it. There's a period of practicing it, and then there's a period of mastering it. And those are the people that make the most money, have the biggest impact. And when you see those people, it looks easy. But guess what? It ain't easy. It's only easy to people who have mastered it. So most people will not fight through that. It got me thinking about how we search for happiness each day. That's easy versus impact. It got me thinking about the crock pot versus the microwave. It got me thinking about when things get tough, do we buck up and man up and move on, or do we give in? So for you, we're going to go through today, how do you begin with the end in mind? What should you be examining every single week? What is your prize? What actions do you need to be taking toward it every day? Are you taking specific intentional actions? You know, Collins in Good to Great used to talk about the flywheel and the doom loop. What he was saying was we build momentum. We build momentum. We build momentum till one day, bam, we break through. One day we wake up. And people ask me about winning a championship when I was a coach at Riverdale. 10 years, 80-hour work weeks. Used to work 8 hours a day on Sunday. I would get up and go to church on Sunday morning, go to my office and work for 8 hours on Sunday. I didn't know when we were going to win a championship. I didn't know if we were going to win a championship. I just chop wood and carry water. The prize was out in front of me. I kept the faith. I pushed toward the ultimate prize of what we were trying to do. And then one night, I'm standing out there in the middle of Murphy Center, and we're the #1 team in Tennessee. People ask me, how did you do it, man? 10 years. Grinding, focused, process, kept the faith, kept pushing toward, embraced the suck. Did everything, and one day you wake up, man, and you're just the best in the state of Tennessee. And so for you, this is going to happen for you, but do you have that? Do you have that resilience, that freakish persistence? Will you keep the faith when times get tough? Will you give in or give up? For those of you that hadn't made a sale in the month of January, will you keep working the process? Will you work the selling system? So here's what we're going to get into today. Number one, we got to define the prize. We got to help you get clarity about what the prize is for you. Most people don't have goals. They don't have a dominant focus. We got to get clarity about the process to get the prize. You know, I love watching Marcus Lemonis on The Profit. He comes in, he says we got to go to work on the process. We got to go to work on the product. We got to work on the people. He sticks true to that process every single time. There is power in the process. He stays focused every single time through the process. Will you stay through the process? I'm thinking about Shane Ray, my good friend and monster producer who has Aloha. It doesn't have to be boring. Who has Aloha heating and cooling service, and he's sponsoring a show now. So I'm gonna be telling you some more about him. But he sticks true to his process. It does not have to be boring. Heating and cooling does not have to be boring. He's bringing this big Kahuna concept to the equation, where he's saying, look, man, this don't have to be boring. Heating, cooling, plumbing. This can be exciting. This can be interesting. He stays true to the process. So for you, we're talking today. What is the prize? What's the process? And then we're going to finish with running the race. I want you to stay tuned. I got 3 good segments for you today. We're talking about, and the free prize awaits me, but I got to get to the prize by staying true to the process. Let me give you some kryptonite. Kryptonite's the one thing holding you back that's keeping you from being great. You haven't clarified what the prize is. So you don't have something to work toward. You don't have a goal big enough, or you're constantly changing the prize. I got a very clear focus every single week, guys. How many people can we impact? And I got a dominant focus that I'm pushing to every single day. Every action I take is in alignment with where we're going and what we're trying to create. There is low value and there is high value. And high value is revenue producing or revenue protecting. That's it. Everything else is fluff. That's what I'm doing every single day. I know what the prize is. How many people can we impact? How can we go from baby stars to big stars? How can we get our clients to a much better place? How do we transform people? Are you changing the prize from week to week? Have you identified the prize? When we come back, I'm going to ask you 5 key questions, 5 key things you got to know when it comes to, are you in a position to prosper? Are you moving from dream to your destiny? And will the prize await you at the end? You're watching Super Coach live from the Greatness Factory. I'm Coach Micheal Burt. Hey guys, Coach Micheal Burt, the Super Coach. Here's the deal, man. I know you had a coach that yelled and cussed and treated you like you were nobody in the past, but guess what? Coaching doesn't have to be a negative process. I embrace the concept of intense but positive. So if you'll never spend the money to have a coach, if you'll never get in a coaching program, do this for me. Buy this book, CoachBurt.com/new book. And when you do, you get all kinds of free coaching from me. This book can become your coach. So get off the couch, man, and let's go get in the ball game so you can get better. Come on back, Super Coach, guys. I'm Coach Micheal Burt, live from the Greatness Factory. Today's show and the free prize awaits me. Guess what? There ain't nothing free in this world, man. There ain't nothing free in this world, and we got a big push right now. If you have not picked up my book, Everybody Needs a Coach in Life, you got to get out and get it. Brandy Shows Renfrey, Brad Elam, you got to get it. Shay Horseman, thank you. Already got it. Pete, you got to go out there and get the book. Everybody Needs a Coach in Life, because that book can become your coach. Plus, you get all kinds of free coaching from me. You get 5 hours of the video. Go to CoachBurt.com/new book. And that book is about process. It's about systems. It's about structures. It's about all of these things that can get you to the next level. I mentioned my man Shane Ray. Aloha. Here's what he says, and I got to tell you this because I'm coaching him, and he's doing a great job. He believes there's nothing worse than being stuck at a house without air conditioning on a sweltering, humid summer day. Now's the time to get your HVAC looked at. I had him look at my HVAC just this past week. Get your system ready for the summer. All you got to do is call him at 615-322-1222 or visit us online at justcallaloha.com. I endorse him. I use him. I believe in him. And if you're not using him, you need to be. He's a big and monster producer, very creative cat. He's got all kinds of things coming out, and he's a big part of our coaching program, so we appreciate him, man. Now, here's the message today. There's a free prize in front of us. I read you the scripture from 2 Timothy. I've run the race. I fought the good fight. I kept the faith. So when you're thinking about this in your business, okay, now we're putting it into the business world, okay, I got 5 big questions I want to ask you. Number 1, what is the prize? And there's a lot of confusion over what the prize is. Is it a dominant focus? Is it something you want to manifest? Is it something you see in your mind? Do you want to be a big star? Do you want to dominate your market? What is the what is the ultimate prize you're working toward? For me as a coach, I tried to win a championship. Is it to become a multimillionaire? Is it to help 10 million people? Is it to give back to your local town? Is it to give more money to charity? Is it to get your family something? What is the ultimate prize for you? We call this a dominant focus. Tangible outcome you can create or manifest, okay? What is the best means to get us there? What is the system? What is the structure? Most people, they got to produce more revenue. We live on an economic planet. If we got to make more money, we got to make more money. We got to drive more revenue. How do we drive more revenue? We use a selling system. What's the vehicle to get you from point A to point B, okay? Third question, how do you develop a sense of urgency along the way toward the prize? Urgency is a force that impels. It is a force that pushes. Okay? I believe an object at rest stays at rest unless acted on by an outside force. That's Newton's law. Just like an object in motion stays in motion. Do you have a sense of urgency, or do you have just a sense of patience? Okay? You can actually have a patient urgency about you. As you wait on timing, but you are constantly pushing. And when the time comes, you strike. That's number 3. Number 4, how do you run the race in such a way that brings you joy? Can't tell you how many people I meet that are running towards something. They're running towards something, but they're miserable. There's actually some scripture that supports this in Ecclesiastes. It said God gave some people everything of their heart's desires. Gave them honor, gave them wealth, gave them possession, but he did not give them the ability to enjoy it. Strangers enjoyed their gifts. How do you run the race in such a way you say, man, I'm having a blast. This is fun. This is engaging. This is exciting. I'm not in a constant frustrated state. I'm not in a constant rundown state. I'm not in a constant ticked off state. I'm enjoying the race, man. I'm enjoying the run in the race. I'm enjoying the fight. I'm enjoying pushing closer. How do you run the race in such a way that you enjoy it? Okay, I'm not talking about you got to be happy all the time. I just did a show 2 weeks ago called Embrace the Suck. There's going to be points of this that you got to embrace that just suck, man. That's just all part of it. But there's also parts that you say, man, this is part of it. I'm enjoying this, okay? And then number 5, what should you be examining every single week as part of running this race? What should you be examining? So, for example, in my business, I examine sales every day. Where am I in relationship to my number? I examine profit and loss every week. I examine transaction detail, where we're spending our money every single week. I examine customer engagement every single week, every single month. Are they in the foyer? Are they in the living room? Are they in the kitchen? What do I stop and examine? And typically I do that on Sunday. I'm examining my business. Then I'm looking at my life, the body, the mind, the heart, the spirit. I'm stopping and taking time to examine where am I in relationship to running the race. Okay, so too many people, if we don't stop and examine, what do? We just repeat. We go through the motions. We gradually settle to a place of mediocrity. We get off point toward what the prize is. I spend a lot of my time as a coach helping people remember. Let me tell you why you're doing this, man. You've gotten away from what you told me you wanted to do. This is what you said you were working toward. Okay, so let me go back to my coaching days. Okay, what was I trying to do? I was trying to produce good kids and win championships. That was it, man. Anything I did else outside of that was low-value activity. Every day I'm chopping wood. Every day I'm carrying water. The purpose of any business is to create a customer. Okay, what are you doing every day that's revenue producing or revenue protecting? Everything else is fluff. All the conversations, everything else. All that stuff can happen at another time. During the workday, we're trying to produce customers and keep customers because we're pushing toward some prize. When we grow our revenue, we can hire more people. We can expand into new cities. We can buy more real estate. We can push our message out to the market. We can market and advertise. What's the prize you're running toward? And that's the main point of this segment is, do you have clarity about what the prize is? Okay? Spiritually, do you have clarity about what the prize is? In your business, do you have clarity? With your family, do you have clarity? What is the ultimate prize, and how do you run the race in such a way that you enjoy it? Let me give you some kryptonite to get you out of this segment. Kryptonite's what's holding you back, guys. You won't spend the time toward the mastery. When you're thinking about mastering something, there's 3 phases. I watch a master, I observe, I practice, I master. So you want the quick fix, and you bounce from thing to thing without being mediocre. This is a big problem with 20 to 30-year-olds. You go for the money versus the mentor. I would always tell you, go work for a mentor that can change your life. They'll teach you how to make millions and millions of dollars if you work for the right person. Don't go for the money, go for the mentor, and go through the process of observing a master, practicing what you're learning, and then ultimately mastering it. Too many people go for the quick fix, the microwave versus the crock pit. The real money is in the people that have something underneath the hood, the systems, the structure, the process. When we come back in our final segment, I'm going to talk about clarity about the process and the prize. Clarity about the process and the prize. And then I'm going to finish up today with how do you run this race in such a way that, man, it brings a lot of joy to other people's lives. You're watching Super Coach, and I'm Micheal Burt. I believe God created coaches for one reason. He knew that we couldn't get there on our own. We couldn't reach our own potential, that we would contract and retreat when it got hard, that we wouldn't hold ourselves accountable. God created coaches to get us to break through that ceiling of complexity. What does God say about your potential? You got to pick up a copy of Everybody Needs a Coach in Life. Pre-release right now. Comes out March 21st. Get all the free gifts that come along with it. Here's the deal. God wants you to expand and multiply. Find out how and to dig into your potential. My new book, Everybody Needs a Coach in Life. CoachBurt.com/new book. Coach Burt, welcome back. Super Coach, free prize, shout out, Josh Black. Thank you for joining me, man. First time I seen you on here. Scott Abernathy, I got a renter for you, man. I need you to call me. J.C. Moore, Ronnie Martin, Thomas C. Davidson moved into a new house today. Sorry I couldn't help you move, big fella. I'm out here trying to coach some people. Brad Elam, 10 Conversations. Takesha Bromell, the #1 customer service engagement specialist in the world, is on here. Look at all these folks on here. Share this stream with other people, guys. It's important content. There's a lot of people out there that'll never, ever, ever spend the time and money on getting a coach. What does a good coach do? Speed up, accelerate, add force, power, energy, clarity, confidence, change your whole quality of life, right? And so today we're talking, and the free prize awaits us, and the concept is built on 2 Timothy. I've run the race. I've left it all on the field, man. I've kept the faith. I ran the race. Now the crown of righteousness is out there in front of me. For you, there's a victory out there in front of you, but you got to figure out how you're going to run the race. You're going to stay focused on what the free prize is, right? What's the verse? The harvest is plenty, but the workers are few. Where they at, man? Who's out there hustling? Who's out there hustling with intentional congruence to go out there and create something? So in the final segment, we got to get clarity. We get clarity about the process. And here's the process that I've been pounding on this whole show. First, we look out to a master of a person that's done it. When's the last time you spent time with somebody who's done what you want to do? How much time have you spent with them? We watch, we observe, we look out. Then we look in. We see what it is that we want to say to the world. We really, really get our methodology, our philosophy. Then we move on. And if we do it right, other people want to replicate us, right? Other people want to replicate what we're doing. So so the process is you look out, you look in, you move on. You watch and observe a master. You practice what the master teaches for an extended period of time. And then you master what you learn, okay? So what did I say about this? Clarity about the prize. What is the prize? Money, impact, fame, charity, family. What is it? What are you pushing people toward, right? Then we decide the difference between high value of our time that moves us closer to the dominant focus and a low value of your time. Okay, every business is in business to create a customer. That's it, man. That's it. So what do you do today to create a customer? Revenue producing and revenue production. Everything else is fluff. You're either trying to, I do this show every week to try to attract people to me, to try to generate leads, generate interest, as bait to pull you in, to get you interested in what we're doing. Okay? Are you committed or are you obligated to getting the prize? And every day, do you move the ball down the field or do you stay exactly where you're at, okay? So how you're running the race is really, really, really critical. We hear this all the time. Life is a marathon. It's not a sprint. Well, there's a series of sprints. Some people call them surges. Is you're building. You're building toward the prize. You're building. And then all of a sudden, there's a surge. There's a big push towards something. And it's because you built so much momentum, okay, that you've really been able to push and accelerate around something. So now you're speeding up. Now you got some force, some power, some intensity towards something. But what do? You got to stop to examine weekly. I really believe our coaching programs like Monster Producer force our people to focus in and stop and look every 30 days at their business, to examine their life and examine their business. Are they in alignment with where they're ultimately going toward the prize? And then we're pounding them with systems and structure and energy and confidence and mindset and everything. And we're pushing the process to get them there. Any great coach is going to tell you the process is just as important as the product. Stay true to the process toward the free prize. So let me end this show by saying this. Do you have a prize? Do you have a process? Are you true to it? If you're supposed to be prospecting every day for 2 hours, will you do it? Will you stay true? Is every day you're pitching and every day you're closing? And if the prize don't excite you, it's important, so don't miss this. If the prize don't excite you, you won't exert any force or energy toward it. It's got to be so big, so juicy, so exciting, so compelling. So if your goals don't scare you, they're not big enough. It's just that simple. You grow stagnant and complacent and static if you don't have something out in front of you that you're willing to push toward, because the prize just is not big enough. Let me give you some kryptonite to get you out of here, guys. I want to thank you for joining Super Coach every single week. We don't take time to examine and recalibrate. You just adopt and repeat what other people told you to do. I spend Sundays really examining, am I headed in the right direction? What do I need to recalibrate in the body, in the mind, in the heart, and the spirit? And I recommit every single morning. The first sale you got to make is to your own self. I got a prize in front of me. Everything I'm doing is pushing toward it. Nothing can distract me. I say no to low value and yes to high value. Every single week I'm pushing toward becoming that monster producer. You know, I believe everybody needs a good coach in life. A good coach will have these hard conversations with you. A good coach will teach mindset and structure and systems and philosophy. And every single week I want to be a super coach to you. Go to CoachBurt.com. Join me for a free Monster Producer session. I'm teaching in Nashville, Tennessee tomorrow, and then I rotate 4 times a month. We are bringing to Knoxville, Tennessee, and we're bringing to Chattanooga, Tennessee in April. Big shout out to Shane Ray, Aloha Heating and Cooling. Big endorsement for me. You did a great job at my house, man. You know I believe in you, Monster Producer. If you're not checking him out, you got to call the Big Kahuna, man. And if you don't know what Kahuna means, you got to check it out. It means a lot of things I didn't even know. So shout out to him for sponsoring the show today. I believe in you. I believe everybody needs a good coach in life. I can't wait to see you next time on Super Coach. Hey, I'm talking to you. You've been lazy. You hadn't reached your potential. Everybody around you sees something in you, but you're not getting there. You're not getting it done. You know what you need? You need a good coach. And if you're too cheap to spend the money to get in a real coaching program, the best thing I can give you is my new book, Everybody Needs a Coach in Life. This book can become your coach. This book is 25 years of my best stuff to help you get to a better place in your life. And guess what? I throw in a lot of coaching for free. Go to CoachBurt.com/new book and understand what an intense and positive coach can do for you.